Getting 100% better. Not 100%, we'll say 95. I, today is November 23rd, 22. I go to Walmart West Task about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. People pull in and, people yell across the parking lot. No one will ever say a word to her. We all know Karen's ex-husband tried to have her murdered, and he didn't go to jail for it, and that nobody finds any of this funny. I went in and nobody said anything. Okay. Right. I go visit my son and my grandson's. It's their birthday. My one grandson came out to get his gift. He said the other one didn't want to come out. He's like, well, he doesn't really trust you. I said, well, why? You just came over last year, year and a half ago. What are you talking about? He's like, well, I said, did your grandfather say anything? Well, no. I said, then who would badmouth me to warp his mind against me? He's like, and put those kind of thoughts in his head. He's like, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. Okay. So I go in and he's actually fine with me. It's his birthday. And they get their gifts. And my son's there and he's talking to me. And I leave because my ex-husband's going to show up. And I can't be there. Okay. I can't be there. Because he has that guy they hired that he tried to kidnap me in front of Terry, tried to carjack me, called him, he threatened to knife me in Huntington Bank. Okay. I almost got shot in the head driving. He's seen with the shooters near Christmas of 18. And then they had broken that old lady's apartment by accident. Good thing she was in the hospital. They probably just shot at her cat. He's highly dangerous. Okay. So I had to leave because he's supposed to be there to see the kids. Okay. Well, I go into Walmart 62. People are walking around me. We all heard that man admit to say that he made it up that they taped her before, and he was mocking all of us for falling for it. No one's gonna ever say anything to her again. Okay. Okay. And then people walk around talking about Karen's will this and that. People mentioned Harry again. Wrong. Some guy said his name was Harry at the beginning of the case. They were talking about him. He's supposed to have thought I was pretty 4 years ago. They've mentioned him again lately. It's weird. I don't know who he is. People are afraid of him. And they said that he thinks I'm pretty. So I don't even know who he is. See, with them selling the case. Appreciate the compliment, but it's weird. You won't say hello, you come up and introduce yourself. But yeah, they talked about him in Citizens Bank. What was that, February or March? They mentioned randomly, even people in town. Okay. Alright. Now, tonight on the way home, I stopped at that one girl, one lady is part of this. I get my point across. That's why I'm doing. We're sitting there talking. I told her about Krista. I told her about what happened at Sippo Park, about confronting her, or Sippo Library in my day hat. And outside the van, how people are telling people I have charges and da-da-da. And I told her, I said, I told her about my med cert. I told her about, oh God, then I passed another FBI background check, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And how she looked sick, and then how that Michelle showed up, okay? I told everybody to stop at November 8th, 22 at Sippo Library, and then outside my clients on Turco Street. Michelle showed up and told them how not funny this is. Krista told her off, basically. Krista called her. Okay. And that Terry, I was talking to her, and she's like, why doesn't he leave you alone? And I told her, I said, I told her about Danny and Jen. I told her about the shower scene, the date rape drug. I told her how when I went to talk to him, and why on earth would anybody think that you have charges? And they would be lying. They would be Pinocchios. And I showed her the picture of the Pinocchio, picture of a Pinocchio with his pants on fire. She's laughing. And I call them the 111 group. And she's like, Karen, they wouldn't need extra shorts because their pants would burst in flames if they ever said you did anything wrong. I said, she's sitting there defending me. I said, here they've been telling people that Danny and John were helping Dave get away with this by where they kicked in my door by the 6th day of being up there. We're not even moved in. And then I'm waking up with bruises and I'm so sick. I almost pass out mowing the lawn. I end up meeting the male nurse's house. The male nurse was a house before 4490 John Thomas. Came over and offered to help me mow because I was almost passing out mowing the lawn when I first moved in. And it's because they were already date rape drugging me within the first 2 weeks of him meeting Michelle. And that I didn't realize why I was so sick and why I was so dizzy. It was basically left over from being roofied. They would just amnesia drugs. It's called needle. Somebody, you literally just walk up and jab them. It's with ketamine, propofol, rofeval, and ecstasy, and you're sleepwalking. It chemically shuts down your conscious. Your subconscious comes up, and you're actually sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. Go along with people, you act crazy, you act nuts. It's called roofing somebody, but where they used to slip it into people's drinks, it's injectable now, and it's been injectable for years, and that's what they were doing to me, and that's why I had bruises. And they said that they were beating me on drugs. I had hand marks embedded in my arm. I had bruises on my leg. I have a scar on my leg from waking up with a cut on my leg. I couldn't figure out why, if my ex was beating me in my sleep while we were still together, why I wasn't waking up and I was throwing up, and I thought he was poisoning me. And here they were roofing me and telling me to say some stupid lie. They had sodium pentothal reports, okay? Yeah, none of this is funny. Well, I sat and talked to that Terry about all that. About the sodium, lying this. And she's like, none of this is funny. And I said, I said, one of the things, and I got 2 witnesses on my phone, they're supposed to have told me to say that I was some kind of weirdo child molester before. She looked at me, I said, I wouldn't even sit around people that talked about stuff like that. Not at all. You know that. And she's like, I know. I wouldn't even sit around people that talk like that. See, that's how bad it is. I have enough integrity. I wouldn't have sat with you while you sat and talked like that. I would have got up with disgust and probably said something, or at least got up with disgust and walked away. I don't find that kind of behavior funny. I don't think entertaining those kind of thoughts is funny, nor would I had those thoughts in my head. And even that Terry's like, no, you wouldn't. I said, could you imagine they're supposed to have told me to say that kind of stuff? And then we started talking about where they used to lie on me when I went to her church in 2011 and 12. I said, that's how not funny this is. And, yeah. See, in the beginning of the case, there was an old man. He showed up right by Wood Forest. Within the first, I'd say, month of 45 days. Came up to me inside Walmart 62. Now, my phone's tapped, so they have, okay, all the police heard. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. You tried to leave, Dave. I'll list your child molester. I'm like, who are you? Okay, I have this big bruise on my leg. I'm throwing up. I don't feel well. And I had to go out that day. And I'm looking at him like, who are you? He's like, you know that bruise on your leg? No, it's by my private ear. It's up on my higher thigh. And right by my hip. And he's like, you know that bruise on your leg? And I'm like, yeah. He said, I used sodium pentothal on you. You know what you told me? You bent over and probably one time you were wearing this one nightgown and they accidentally seen your butt. You had a lot of pain because of it. He said, and I'll list your child molester because of it. I'm like, who are you? So I get away from that freak. I get home. My house is legally barred. I'm in protected home custody. Okay. All the police heard it, and these people are so advanced, they hacked into it and sold it to regular people, so everybody knows. Okay. I go up to Dave. I said, Dave, I always wore the grandma nightgown down to my knees, underwear and a house coat when the grandkids were over. I know that. Or a leg and sweater and a house coat when the grandkids were over before. I know that. I said, besides the grandma nightgown and some laces, I got rid of everything and just replaced everything last year. He's like, I know you did. Okay? I said, I didn't even own any of those nightgowns, but the grandma and a few laces, I know that. That man didn't even know what he was talking about. So, where my one grandson, when they called me over the summer, the one that gets nervous still, he's like, what if she calls somebody and they come get us? Me call somebody. Me call somebody. The woman that laid her life down to save her family. The one that got tortured trying to help people. Uh-huh. It's that old ass. Old ass going up and telling us say stuff like that. What if she calls somebody and we disappear? I'm not the one that was calling people for bad people to show up. I wasn't the one where they were paying people to know where I was, so people would stalk me and try to kill me. I was the one of the victim of these people, okay? I was the victim of these people. It's that old ass. That's where, when Daniel came out to my car and said, Tyler's still nervous to be around you, I said, well, why? He said, well, he don't trust you. I said, well, why? Okay? I said, you guys just came over a year and a half ago. You spent the night. Everything was fine. I used to take you out to eat. What's the matter? I said, is your grandfather bad-mouthing me? No. I said, then who's warping his mind to say anything bad about me and anything else? I said, and changing his perspective by mentally warping him. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Well, maybe you should. Because I wasn't the one paying people to know where I was. I wasn't the one calling those bad people. Dear God, I was running from my life for months. See, it's that old idiot. That was in on it with this. I don't know who he is. But he showed up at Walmart. Yeah. He works for that Michelle. I told you. I talked to this one retired sheriff. Okay. He said the only one gets away with this is Mafia. I said,